Hey guys, so today we're back in the room and not in the kitchen because I made too much of a mess with the milk and my mom said I could never record there again. But we're switching gears and we're talking about something that college students tend to not think about because they think that they're either too young or they have enough money, which is savings. The problem is that savings is something that you can start small and you can always add to it. And the earlier you start, the better. So, when you're talking about savings, you have many things to consider. You can have a retirement account, a investment account, or just simply dividing up your money at the end of the month to go into different things so you don't spend it all on useless purchases. So we're going to take 3 parts in this video. We're going to first talk about different savings models, then what you can do with your money that you have saved, and finally, tools to help you save. So, let's get started. All right, before I begin, I just want to let you guys know that I do have a notepad with all my notes for this video, so I'm going to be checking on it and looking down so I don't say anything wrong. Now, for savings models. The most famous savings model is the 50-30-20 model, where 50% of your income goes towards your utilities, your power bills, your water bills, car bills, food, things you need to survive. 30% goes into your checkings account so you can buy anything you want. If you see something cool, you see something that you really feel like you need at the moment, you can just spend that money. And then 20% goes into your savings account or towards paying off debt. This is a model for people who have their own house or are already living on their own outside of a college setting normally. So if you have your parents paying for your tuition, your parents paying for your housing, or they providing money for you to buy food, this savings model will not allow you to really do what you want with your money or put your money into smart places, let's say. That's why in my case, where I do have my parents paying for my food and I do have my parents paying for my tuition, I changed up my model a little bit. To change up your model, you have to think about what you want to do with your money, what you need your money to do for you right now, and what you want your money to do for you in the future. So, in my case, I had already a little bit of money saved over from high school that I didn't use during my first year of college. This was already in a separate checking account and a little bit in a savings account. Because of this, I devoted more of my money towards my later in life savings accounts, which are my Roth IRA and my investment accounts. My spreads are 30% into my Roth IRA, 30% into my long-term investment account, 20% into my checkings, and 20% into my savings account. I don't have any debt, so I don't have to worry about that 20% being split into the two things. But that's what I chose as my savings model. Now, if you want to choose your savings model, you just have to think about what you want as liquid and what you want as savings. Liquid is money that you can spend in the moment, which is your checking accounts or cash. You're going to have a high percentage of your income going towards that if you need to pay for your own food, housing, tuition, or anything like that. Now, if you get all those things taken care of like I do, you can just keep a little bit of money on hand and invest your money into something that gives you a lot of money back just for keeping your money in a savings account with a high yield or investing into ETFs or things like that. If those two things just sounded completely foreign, just wait. I'm going to explain more about that later. But having those two distinctions can really make you think about where you want to put your money. If you want to put it more into a checkings, if you want to put more into a savings. And then once you know which one you want to focus on, you can really break up your savings account into IRAs, dividend stocks, just simple high yield savings account, or just simple savings account. This is what we're going to discuss right now. What type of savings accounts are there? I'm going to break them up into 3 types. Investment accounts, just regular savings accounts on your banks, and retirement funds. Let's first talk about investment accounts. Investment accounts are nothing more than just money that you have set to just be placed into stocks. You don't have to actually place money into the stock market. You can just set the money aside. There are many Harvard studies that show that if you just have that money set aside to be invested, you don't even have to invest it. Your chances of spending that money for useless things goes down to near 0%. So, where can you put your money into these investment accounts? You can make a different savings account and just name it investment accounts in your bank, or you can make a brokerage account and actually put your money into there. And then if you see a stock that looks favorable and that is pretty low, or you just want to buy that stock, you can just transfer your money there and just buy it. Now, in terms of brokerage accounts, what are, in my opinion, the best? First, let me tell you that I am not a licensed anything. I am just a teenager that has read a lot about stocks and things like that. So take my opinion with a grain of salt. But I have found that there are three main commission-free brokerage accounts. First is Robinhood. Robinhood is probably what you have heard about, and it's really good for new investors. It has commission-free as all the other two, and it is really easy to use. It is super intuitive, and it walks you through every single step. But if you have a little bit of investment experience, you will have a hard time finding all the data that you need to invest in stocks through Robinhood. This doesn't mean that it's useless. It just means that you have to use outside sources to get your information about the stock. Next, we have Webull, another commission-free brokerage, where you have a lot more data on every single stock, but it's also not as intuitive and a little bit harder if you're a new investor. So I would only consider Webull if you already have a little bit of experience investing and you want that next level stock data in the same app that you were buying your stocks. Lastly, we have M1. M1 Finance is also commission free, but it's not really the same as Webull or Robinhood. M1 only allows you to trade once a day, but you have to make these pies where every single cent that you put into M1 is split between the stocks that it shows in that percentage. And they buy partial shares to 1/100,000th of a share. So if you get Amazon and you make 50% of your portfolio Amazon and 50% Google, even though those two stocks are about 2,000 and 1,000 respectively, if you just put $25, you're just gonna buy $12.50 of Amazon and $12.50 of Google. And those are just gonna be slight shares of it, but this money's still gonna grow and fall as the share price of Amazon and Google grows and falls. So it's really your choice. I personally use Robinhood and M1 mostly, a little bit of Webull sometimes. But my main investment account is in M1, where I just throw money in, it invests for me with the percentages I set, and it just keeps on growing, and I just put the money in and forget it. Robinhood is where I'm actively trading and just looking really deeply into stocks and making more of riskier trades. So when I say in my savings that I'm going 30% into my investments, I put 30% into my M1 Finance account, while my Robinhood account gets part of that 20% that I go towards my checking account, because it's more of a experimental account where I just buy stocks and see if they go up or down. It's a lot more volatile, and I don't want my savings being part of this experience that I'm trying to do with Robinhood. Now, savings accounts. Savings accounts are just your regular accounts where you put money into your bank and they just keep it. It is really safe. You can withdraw money anytime you want, but they do charge a little bit to keep your money there, and they don't have a lot of return normally. Normally only about 0.01% return every year. Lastly, we have your Roth IRAs and your IRAs and your 401ks or your retirement funds. These are really difficult to explain in just a short video, so I'm going to make a separate video explaining exactly what those are. But as an overall thing, those accounts are accounts that you put money in now, and you can only withdraw that money many years from now when they have either grown or fallen. It's mostly grown, but you can't just take out money from that account anytime you want. So let's finally talk about budgeting strategies. For budgeting strategies, I have two main things: Excel and personal capital. Excel allows you to just make an equation and just really easily separate your money. Just you plug in the amount you got in your paycheck and then just make a little equation of multiplying that by 0.3 if you want 30%, or instead of a percentage, and it will just give you exactly how much to put into each account. That's good and all, but that only tracks the money that you put in. If you have an issue with spending or not knowing where your money goes into many times, you can download an app like Personal Capital. Personal Capital allows you to put in all your accounts, and they're super trustworthy, with more than $15 billion being reported through the app. And you put in the money, you put in your accounts, and it shows you exactly how much you have in your accounts, how much you spent through your accounts, and they allow you to have a retirement planner in there. So I have my banking account, I have my Robinhood account, my M1 account, and my Webull account, and it shows me how much they have grown, how much they have fallen, how much money I have spent, how much money I've gained from my job. And all of that is displayed in graphs and really easy interfaces. Personal Capital can also be replaced by Mint or any other app like that. I just have found through research and using the apps that Personal Capital allows you to have the most versatility and just has a better user interface, in my opinion. Those apps and Excel allow you to separate your money into your accounts with really exact measurements, and also track your spending so you know that you're not going over a budget that you set for yourself, or that you're not really cheating your savings model that you have set already. Alright guys, so this video got you to think about savings and where to put your money once you earn it. As I said before, I am going to be making a new video about retirement funds and another one about investments and what I invest in, so stay tuned for that. A link for Robinhood, Webull, and M1 are going to be in the description, and if you use that link, you get a free stock with Robinhood. With Webull, if you use the link in the description, you get one free stock for signing up, and then one more free stock after you put in $100 into your account. And I'm going to leave another link for Personal Capital for you to get the app. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like, subscribe for more, and see you later.